This is SportsRage Level 2 has begun. I am Gabriel Morency, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network. So just to sort of set the table here, we're going to get Paul's NCAA tournament thoughts in a second. But as far as the Ohtani story goes, representatives of Dodgers superstar Shohei Ohtani accused his interpreter of engaging in a massive theft of the ballplayer's funds to place bets with an alleged illegal bookmaker who was the target of a federal investigation. Lawyers for Ohtani made the claim after the LA Times learned that Ohtani's name had surfaced in the investigation of Matthew Boyer, an Orange County resident. Ohtani's representatives looked into the actions of the interpreter, Miyazura, and in response to the Time queries, a source close to the matter said two sources told a newspaper that the money involved was in the millions of dollars. $4.6 million is the number that's been thrown out. All right. In the course of responding to recent media inquiries, we discovered that Shohei has been the victim of a massive theft, and we are turning the matter over to the authorities. The Dodgers fired Miyazura earlier in the day today. Well, one of the sources said that Miyazura was not truthful when asked about the story. Now, this is the conflicting story here that's popping out. ESPN is now reporting Miyazura was fired by the Dodgers, that the money was stolen. On Tuesday, however, Miyazura told a different story. ESPN became aware of two more wire payments of $500,000 sent from Ohtani's account, from one of Ohtani's business accounts to one of Boyer's associates last September and October. In an interview, Miyazura said that he asked Ohtani for financial help to pay off his gambling debts, and that Ohtani decided to, quote, help me out to make sure that I never do this again. The interpreter added that he had been under the impression that he was gambling legally and that Ohtani had zero involvement in gambling. In addition, Miyazura promised to pay Ohtani back. Yeah, how are you going to pay him back? $4.6 million. And that Ohtani had refused to give them the money personally because the two-way star did not trust. So he's saying that that Ohtani paid the bookie directly because he didn't trust his friend not to gamble the money away again. Miyazura was adamant that he had never bet on baseball. Well, I don't know about your adamance about anything right now.
Yeah, come on,
you just stole $4.6 million, but I'm supposed to believe this is what you say now? Like, I don't know. I don't believe anything. Like you said, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? What do you? Now you just heard that's the report, Paul. There's the story.
Yeah, come on. I don't think Ohtani has clean hands here at all. Okay. So what? These guys bet. I mean, it's
so what's he betting on? Soccer? He's betting on anything? He's betting on Japanese soccer games?
Maybe horses.
I'm out of my lane. I have no idea what he bets on. Yeah.
Maybe you're right, Cam. Maybe the ponies.
Horses is the way to go. That's the way international. It's the game. Anyway, I'm not going to say anymore. Like that would be my
he's already getting crushed. Our poll question. Yeah, everybody thinks he's Jimmy the Greek and Pete Rose combined here. Like there's no turning back. So Paul, NCAA tournament. You said you dabbled a little bit, which for you probably means like $10,000 a game. So what do you got?
All right. First of all, I gotta do this. I gotta clear up the JB Bickerstaff comment at the outset. There was an accusation by J.B. Bickerstaff that he was targeted by gamblers on a game last year, and he made kind of a story out of it. And then you had the Rudy Gobert thing, which he gave the Scott Forster the dollar sign thing, which was an indirect way of.
Oh, and Paul.
Yeah.
And I thought of you today, actually. I'm glad you brought all this up, and you were right. You said something years ago that I remember, but I don't know if you saw it today. Halliburton was complaining. He said half the people just look at me like I'm a robot prop because all people care about is their stupid prop bets, right? And I remember you saying years ago, before sports betting was legal everywhere, you said it's going to be terrible. It's going to destroy fans. Fans are going to sit in the arena and only care about the stupid free throw for the dumb bets and stuff like that. And I remember saying and agreeing with you, and I remember we said, look at people get angry when a team doesn't score 100 points, Cam, to get a free taco. What's going to happen when everyone in the arena has money on the game? Like, you know what I'm saying?
You want to kill for a pizza slice?
No, it's true, Cam. Like, everybody people, oh, son of a bitch, 8 strikeouts, I get a free piece of pizza. Boo!
Buddy,
right now, it's like,
over $5-10.
And then they get mad Now they get mad because they see the sportsbook sponsor in the building, and they're like, "Oh, you guys are in on it. You're all making money." It really is kind of screwing things up, Paul. The modern sport fan is the biggest douchebag that in my lifetime. I'll put it that way.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
True.
and you wonder if it's incumbent on these coaches to protect the number. So if Bickerstaff has a 12-point lead and they're shaking 9.5, does he pull the starters in front of the home crowd? You wonder if there's some kind of responsibility to coach your team with the number in mind. So that was always my thought process. But this is what the NBA was gravitating towards. This is what Adam Silver wanted. Now he has it. Now he has to address these issues, which are coming up.
Well, Major League Baseball's got an issue right now. Silver's like, thank God it's not me. Right? So we got like 2 minutes here, Paul. NCAA tournament. What did you bet?
I do like McNeese. I'm going to take them. They're the 12 seed, and they're playing Gonzaga, and it's getting 6.5. I think they've been pretty good against decent competition at times. Gonzaga is not been great. They're 3-11 versus teams that hold the opposition under 40% field goals. McNeese qualifies. And I also took Texas Tech, a three-point shooting team, a free throw shooting team, a great conference, and you got NC State coming in, 5 wins, 5 days. I also like the Dallas Mavericks tomorrow night. They're going to get revenge for that Utah game where they lost by 37. Utah off a tough game tonight against OKC. I don't even know the final result, but in the fourth quarter, they were down by 4. 5th game in 7 nights, 3rd game in 4th nights. Dallas is going to pour it on tomorrow night. Team total over, and the Dallas Mavericks.
Paul Bovey in the house with us. 119-107. Oklahoma City won was the final score tonight. And finally, in closing, I said we got about a minute here. And, not even to mention, I don't know if you guys saw this. I was tweeting about it over the weekend. Bruno Mars owes MGM $50 million.
It's a lot of money.
Well, the MGM came out and denied
gambling.
That, but,
well,
again,
yeah, because they're upset it got leaked in the first place. They didn't, it's supposed to be private.
Yeah.
That's
He's going to be playing. In other words, in other news, I got breaking news for everybody.
Bruno Mars World Tour.
Bruno Mars will be performing at the MGM Grand on New Year's Eve in 2042 through 2062. Like he's going to play the rest of his life. He's locked in. It's like, oh God, I got to do. They're going to be like, hey, Bruno, you're doing New Year's this year. Yeah. How much? You knocking off $6 million for this? $10 million? How much you knocking off for this one? 12 million. Okay, I'll do. Okay.
He took a page out of the Celine Dion playbook because she had that happen to her a few years ago.
Wow, man, it's dangerous when you're rich, and you bet, man.
Yeah, damn Lord.
SportsGrid's going to have you covered for this NCAA tournament.
That's the that we know. When it's win or go home, they love to go home.
Tennessee's now in my phony club. They should all get together and drink green tea.
Furman's going to have a chance.
That is a team I'm betting on right now.
We are feeling this. You are feeling this at home. The excitement and the atmosphere.
Only on SportsGrid.
The NC State game on Saturday against North Carolina that stood out most to me, that they not only went on a 5-day heater like they did in '83 when Valvano took them another 6 games and they won the national championship.
The committee didn't sit there at the beginning of the week and think that Oregon, New Mexico, NC State, Duquesne, they didn't sit there planning for all those teams to go and win.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Kent State and Indiana State are two great mid-majors that look very dangerous. And Bama sent those teams into outer space.
You're looking at a guy that resurrects programs. Iona was down in the dumps till Pitino got there. Now you know who Iona is because they were making runs into the NCAA tournament. And now you take a look at St. John's down in the dumps here, resurrecting another New York City team here.
Only on SportsGrid. SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. Pro League Soccer, powered by Marca.
I would be willing to bet the under 2.5 goals.
Fantasy sports today.
Especially in head-to-head formats in fantasy, I think I'm going to go with Juan Soto.
Game time decisions.
People don't like it. I don't really care. I cannot believe anybody is betting the Clippers at this number.
Betting above the rim.
All I've heard you say on the network is you're either winning or you're rebuilding.
In-game live, all access.
Nobody has been more profitable as a dog than Shaka Smarty.
Winning back-to-back road games. I don't care if they're playing Topeka High. I wouldn't give them any chance whatsoever.
In-game live, prime time.
Back-to-back, just utterly stinker quarters.
In-game live, overtime.
Honestly, as you sit here and listen, watch right now, you may want to consider placing that bet.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. Boise State and Colorado were tied at 43. There's 8 minutes remaining, and I just can't get a good feel for the in-game total. Like, I felt the 123.5. I'm on the over. I'm going to lose that, obviously. This is the type of game that it could go to overtime, and we still won't hit the over. But the new in-game total right now, I never bit the bullet. I never bit and took the bait at 123.5. I was like, let's wait, let it drop. It's 120.5 right now, but I don't even want to really bite this, to be honest. It's 43-43. There's 8 minutes left. Neither team, we should note, Colorado's in the bonus right now. They only have given up 3 fouls, so that's advantage Colorado in a tie game. They're going to be getting to the free throw line, but this is a slugfest, and this feels like it's the first of 55 wins the game, which is pretty crazy to say. But that's the feel we're getting here with 7-8 minutes left. It's not like, it's going to open up. It hasn't opened up all game. It's 43-43 with 8 minutes left. Let's be real. It's this. So I'm not ready to bite on the total yet. It's already down to 118.5 right now, as I stated. I'll tell you, if it gets to 112.5-ish, that's when I'll bite. 56 gets me there. Mid 55, 109.5 or something. But I'm not biting, and I'm not going to take the under. We already saw, this game might go to overtime. And just let's see what the odds are for this. We already had one game go to overtime tonight. Why not? Are we going to get another one? Tied at the end of regulation, plus 700.
I want a little more.
It's pretty good. Not bad odds, actually.
Yeah, it's not bad, but 2 games going to overtime, that's tough, Morency. I think somebody's going to slip. I think Colorado's
this game is totally evenly matched.
It is.
You can't get any more evenly matched than it is. It was 26-24 at the half. And Colorado outscored them by 2 points in the half. They've played 13 minutes in the second half, and Boise State have outscored them by 2 points. These teams cannot separate themselves from each other. So overtime could be in play here. So we'll keep our eye on the in-game total. I'm on Colorado, and just for the record right now, Colorado are minus 150 on the money line. Boise State are plus 120. I might jump in. It's 117.5 right now. All right, keep dropping. And we might pull the trigger. Let's bring in George Kurtz right now. And I'll ask George if he participated in my poll question that I'm trying to find the answer to and see the responses to right now. As far as Shohei Ohtani and his interpreter is concerned, the Japanese Pete Rose. What's going on? George, how you doing?
Japanese Pete Rose. Yes. Well, I heard there's a job opening in LA, so I'm trying to see if I can learn Japanese real quick here, interpreter.
Well, no, you know what? Yamamoto has got an interpreter too. So they actually have two. There's 2 of them. Yeah, there was another dude. Ohtani had his buddy, but there's another guy there. So I thought about that. I was like, well, Yamamoto's guy, you're up now. You better not be betting too. What do you make of this story, George?
Well, I'm sure there's more to it. How about that? I hope Ohtani's not involved. I mean, as silly as it sounds, I really hope this guy just, pulled a fast one, was playing games with his money and all, and he got caught. It would be pretty devastating if they find out Ohtani was involved, that he, part of the money was his, that he knew what was going on here, whether he's betting on baseball or not. So it wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be good, but I truly hope he's not involved in this.
I don't, but the thing is, he isn't, right? In the sense that this is not a new story. It's a story that we now know. Like, this investigation's been going on for a while. So it's, we only now know about it. Like, there's no ongoing investigation into Ohtani. Like, Ohtani's not under investigation for anything. He can give money if he wants to his buddy, like, to bet, right? Like, and the FBI knows who's betting with the guy, right? So they would know if he was actually betting. I know people want to go down that road. My deal is, and I think, Cam, you agree, is basically you got two dudes, they're good friends, they come to America, they're in Los Angeles. Ohtani literally sleeps 15 hours a day. Meanwhile, his buddy is going home after and alone and is betting on games and getting into trouble, doesn't have the money, and figures, I'll go to my buddy Ohtani if I ever really get in trouble. Ohtani says, all right, I'm going to have to pay off your debts because I don't want to get embarrassed. And now he ends up getting embarrassed.
That's exactly what is happening. Ohtani's sleeping. He's betting. I don't know if he's watching Japanese horse racing, whatever he's betting at night. But, he's not snug in his bed like Ohtani, ready to pitch. He's betting. And
but
that's
the thing is,
how much he makes a year?
What, an interpreter?
Yeah.
Couple $100,000 I would think.
I don't know. It's his friend, so I don't know. Like,
maybe even more.
It's not a regular.
You're right, Gabe. But how much though? Really? Like, even for a friend as an interpreter,
I bet he was probably making $400,000 or so, $300,000 or $400,000. I would say though, George, he'll make more now with the Dodgers than the Angels because he got this. That's the whole thing with this. Is it's hard. It's, it's hard to, like, I don't understand why they said, like, oh, he was stealing money. I don't know why they just said whatever. We lent him money, he had a problem, and the case, none of your business, right? That's the thing that's kind of strange because this guy is so important to Ohtani, right? So suddenly the guy gets fired. Clearly the Dodgers fired him. And remember, Ohtani had it in his contract, George, that it got put in, that his contract could be void if certain members were ever let go by the Dodgers. I'm just thinking like, wow, what the hell is really, what are we walking into here? But there was an FBI investigation, but Ohtani didn't bet. Like, he would be he didn't bet, right? But there's any time that you get multiple answers in which there's been a couple of stories. Ohtani's people say, we got robbed for $4.5 million. And how could you steal $4.5 million digitally from someone? In a sense, you know what I'm saying? So Ohtani clearly paid the people off. I don't know why they're throwing him under the bus as far as saying he stole it. But I guess, long story short, I'll ask you, Kurtz, what does baseball do about this now?
Well, I don't think there's anything to do right now. You can't punish Ohtani in any way, or the Dodgers, unless more information comes out that we don't know right now, that one of the two parties did know about this. As you're saying, there's nothing against Ohtani. The fact that you might think they're involved, or let people think, that's fine. We can think whatever we want, but there's no evidence against it. So I don't think there's anything to do, really, for baseball. The Dodgers fired the interpreter, so fine. You did what you had to do there, which is probably the immediate response that's going to happen in any altercation or any crime with anybody to do anything in this situation. That person's going to get fired, and now we'll see where it goes. Baseball, I'm sure, wants this to go away. The sooner this goes away, the better. But right now, it's going to be a big story for a little while, especially with opening day. I know it was today, but the opening day for everybody else is 7 days away. So this might be a 7-day story.
I find the
they're going to be waiting at the airport like the Beatles getting off the plane in media now. Like it's going to relive next week in America when he gets back now, right? Oh, what do you have to say? Because he can hide in Asia, right? He can't It's a distraction. Let's just be real. But the thing is, people don't read the actual story. That's the whole thing. And I know, and I just saw a study about this. There's a book about this, about how people see a headline and have an opinion. And people are so short attention span deficit type in this era now. They're not actually reading a 4-page LA Times expose and the actual federal indictment and police report and blah, blah, and this stuff. Oh, Tony's betting. No, he's not. And it's not like, oh, now, we'll find out. No, they've known. This thing has been, it's iron in. You know what I mean? The interpreter's name is the one. He's the one that gets thrown down. But I would say if I'm baseball, my only concern would be I'd want to find out if this guy was betting on baseball or not. Right? That would be the whole thing. Just that, you know what, do we have this? Was he in the clubhouses and stuff like this? Because that was the whole thing. Because he was privy to inside information. Put it this way, if you were betting on sports and not betting on baseball, you were an idiot. Because that was the only thing you knew.
SportsGrid's going to have you covered for this NCAA tournament.
That's the movie that we know. When it's win or go home, they love to go home.
Tennessee's now in my phony club. They should all get together and drink green tea.
Furman's going to have a That is a team I'm betting on right now.
We are feeling this. You are feeling this at home. The excitement and the atmosphere.
Only on SportsGrid.
The NC State game on Saturday against North Carolina that stood out most to me, that they not only went on a 5-day heater like they did in '83 when Valvano took them another 6 games and they won the national championship.
The committee didn't sit there at the beginning of the week and think that Oregon, New Mexico, NC State, Duquesne, they didn't sit there planning for all those teams to go and win.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Morehead State and Indiana State are two great mid-majors that look very dangerous. And Bama sent those teams into outer space.
You're looking at a guy that resurrects programs. Iona was down in the dumps till Pitino got there. Now you know who Iona is because they were making runs into the NCAA tournament. And now you take a look at St. John's down in the dumps here, resurrecting another New York City team here.
Only on SportsGrid. SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. Pro League Soccer, powered by Marca.
I would be willing to bet the under 2.5 goals.
Fantasy sports today.
Especially in head-to-head formats in fantasy, I think I'm going to go with Juan Soto.
Game time decisions.
People don't like it. I don't really care. I cannot believe anybody is betting the Clippers at this number.
Betting above the rim.
All I've heard you say on the network is you're either winning or you're rebuilding.
In-game live, all access.
Nobody has been more profitable as a dog than Shaka Smart team.
Winning back-to-back road games. I don't care if they're playing Topeka High. I wouldn't give them any chance whatsoever.
In-game live, prime time.
Back-to-back, just utterly stinker quarters.
In-game live, overtime.
Honestly, as you sit here and listen, watch right now, you may want to consider placing that bet.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
$49-48 right now. As I stated, it's just this. They can't extend. They can't distance themselves from each other. 49-48 with 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Well, at least it's close. It's a terrible basketball game, but it is competitive. But fortunately, we move on. Tomorrow, it starts for real. And I love it, especially on the West Coast. I'll wake up 9 in the morning. And in fact, no, I'll be up. Check me out on the Tony Bruno Sports Radio Networks tomorrow morning at 6:30 Pacific time, 9:30. But I got to wake up at 6:30 in the morning to do a radio hit with my man Pete Shepard, because you know why? It's the NCAA tournament, and why not? But I can't lie. I'm not actually now that.
Dodgers?
Well, that's the thing. Now it's what am I going to do? And then the game started at 9 in the morning. The basketball, I'm going to pull an all-nighter, Kurtz. Like, it's kind of like,
what are we going to do? We're going to just open up your head and put some oil in you, and then we'll just, there you go. Start it up
again. You better take a quick nap after Rage, man. A quick nap.
Quick nap.
I've thought about how I'm going to approach it. No.
Not well.
Last night, what did you do? Did you wake up at 6, Kurtz? Did you watch the game, or did you just whatever?
I'm up at 6 every day anyway, but my kids' school. I get up at 6 a.m. every day anyway, so I just stayed up till 9, 10 o'clock.
It was a long game, too. It took a while. It didn't start right away. It took a long time. I stayed up, obviously, because I'm normally up at that time. I made it to about 5 a.m. my time. So it was 3, and they were losing 2-1 when I tapped out. It was 2-1. Yeah, exactly. I was frustrated and angry when I tapped out. So, but I PVR'd it, though. I recorded it, right? The first thing I did, I woke up, sat down, boom, I turned it back on. I started rewatching it again.
I would do the same thing.
So the ball went through his glove. They sort of got lucky with that a little bit, right? The webbing on the glove broke. But the Dodgers won the game, but I got to be honest with you. I was a little bit frustrated early. I know it's kind of crazy. It's one game in and stuff, but I wonder about their batting lineup, Kurtz, and that you've got Betts, Freeman, Ohtani. I think we'd be better off splitting them up, to be honest. As crazy as it sounds. Because you get these three. Yeah, you know what I mean? Then you get these three. Well, that's the thing, right? But you get these three, and then boom. Like, how many times last night, bro, did they were on base? Betts is on base, Ohtani's on base, and there's Will Smith with his deep fly out to left again. It's like he doesn't change. We know, like, he's only going to try to hit a home run. Like, this is going to happen so many times. And then Muncy after. And I got to live with Muncy. I know he puts numbers up, but he's kind of frustrating. But I wanted to ask you, what would you do about that? Because I would break him up. I would have Ohtani hitting 4th type of deal. I don't think he should be hitting 2nd, personally. I would have Ohtani a little bit further after this because I find that Betts, Freeman, and Ohtani are going to get on base, and then they need to count on Will Smith and Muncy to come through.
But who are you going to put in your scenario? Who are you going to put in the 2-hole or the 3-hole? You don't want Muncy there because that's 3 lefties now, right? So you don't want
I know. I was thinking about that too. Muncy would have been better second, but
Hayward, Outman, Lux. I mean, who goes? There's no one.
No one's a smart enough hitter. It sounds crazy to say, but no one's really like they don't have smart hitters. Like I want like a smart hitter there. You know what I'm saying?
Like I prefer Freeman. By the way, that you don't want your best hitters hitting so low because even in the 4th spot, you're going to bat about 60 to 80 less times over the course of a year.
But I love it, Morency. They're so damn good. This is what you're worried about. These little like other teams. Are just
one
like,
game in, and we won, and we won, and I'm perplexed. I went to bed mad. I'm like, we got to do something about our order, man. I'm like, my head hurts. Like
he's mad because Muncy struck out with the bases loaded on a 3-2 count.
I'm really worried about the Dodgers situation here, and that's like, yeah, they'll be fine. Yeah, they'll be all right.
Looking for perfection. And I don't like their infield defense, besides Mookie Betts, but it's a train wreck. Dude, they laid a bunt down. We were lost. Like, it was, Muncy doesn't call it. One thing I like, though, is there was a ball to right field, and Betts caught it. And that's what it's going to become. It's basically going to be like, just let Betts handle it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's around third base, don't worry, I got it. If it's around second, get out of the way, Gavin. I mean, Gavin can barely throw the ball at first base, Kurtz, okay? Like, we have to move him over because so it's like We got a little bit defense. Freddie's great. Freddie's great defensive player. And it was crazy, man. Mookie Betts is turning double plays, flicking the ball like last night. Nobody can do that. Nobody can show up and say, I'll play center field, left field, right field, second base, shortstop. What do you want me to do? I like how he joked. He goes, I'll catch if they needed me to. And he would. He would. So 52-49, Colorado right now with $1.22 left in the game. We'll sort of track
Did you lay the points? Did you get 2.5?
No, I have Colorado on the money line parlayed with the under in Toronto, Boston, PWHL hockey. Which one?
Fair enough. Yeah, it did win. It did win. That Toronto team's hot. What are they?
They've won 11 in a row.
11 in a row. Yep. Great team.
The women's team in the PWHL, Kurtz.
Yep.
You have access to that? I'm sure you do, right?
Yes. Yeah.
FanDuel has it.
I know more through,
the Toronto 2-step one tonight. First time ever. Women and men.
I always hear about it.
Rare. Bet it, George. It's a good league.
I would only bet. I don't watch it enough to know.
I bet Toronto tonight.
Know about it. I would follow Gabe's bets. He always posts what he's betting. So there's been at least twice I followed your bets. I don't know if I won or not. I had a million other bets that night, but I didn't follow.
I've done really well with this league. Like I'm probably in the 70 to 80 percentile type thing. Like we really nail it. Like, we really I get mad. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, son of a, it started and they're playing tonight. Like I get caught up in other stuff sometimes, but I've been riding this Toronto wave. And, Big Card Julio, who joins us, he loves betting on women's sports. He's been betting every under. Tonight it was 4.5 plus 130, 2-1 final. Like this league is a heavy under league. Toronto have won 11 in a row. There's patterns that are developing. Montreal and Toronto were playing each other. I think it's April 20th. Yet they moved the game. Like the Montreal team plays where the AHL team plays in Montreal. It's like 8,000 people or something like that in the arena, whatever it is. But they're playing at the Bell Center. It's their first game they're playing where the Canadians play. It's sold out in 20 minutes. So they're setting a world record for women's hockey. 21,105 tickets sold out in 20 minutes. This league is hot.
Do they have MVP?
It's
Do
doing
they have
well.
MVP odds? Because Natalie Spooner is a lock to be the MVP of that league. Lock. And I mean with a capital L.
I don't see any MVP odds.
She is a lock. She's amazing.
One good thing about this league, we're getting to the point now, too, where there's nearly fights and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like tonight, Toronto and Boston were going at it at the end. Like Boston got mad. The girl on Toronto decked the girl. It's getting to be, it's a physical league. It's pretty good hockey, too. It's a lot. It's, like I said, and you can bet on it. My problem with the only thing is the playoffs don't start until like mid-May or something. So I was looking at futures and it's a little bit of a wait for this. So last night we were on the Dodgers. We were on the -1.5. We were on the under. We hit Mookie Betts over 1.5 total bases was a winner. Shohei Ohtani over 1.5 total bases was a winner. Freddie Freeman over 1.5 total bases was a loser. Glass now over strikeouts was a bad bet on my behalf. Was a loser. That was a bad bet, though. It was too high for the shortened number. But I'll ask you first, Kurtz, before I share my picks. What are you doing with the game tonight, this morning, whatever you want to call it? What are your bets and props for the game?
Well, for me, it'll definitely be this morning since I'll be waking up for it. I'll be on the Dodgers again. I'll probably go on the run line. I'm playing 190 or anything like that for the Dodgers win is a little nuts for me on the money line here. I am a little concerned. I think, and I saw you post this on Twitter. The controversy around Ohtani didn't seem to bother him in Game 1. Does it bother him more now in Game 2? A little concerned about that.
It wasn't public last night.
He's leading A's without hitting a home run. So he's hitting a home run tomorrow. Okay? I'll be on Ohtani again. I was on him today to hit a home run also, and his total bases. If I'm going to bet on him to hit a home run, I'm going to bet his total bases as well. I'll probably have Mookie Betts again over 1.5. Up against Musgrove. He gives up some home runs here. And you may not like Muncy, but I just got a funny feeling he's going deep tomorrow as well. Give me Muncy. I'm not going to have any props. I want to see him pitch first with the different baseball, the non-tackiness and all that. I want to see how he adapts to that.
Cam, what are you doing with the game?
Well, we're on the Dodgers in the under. I think I'm going to parlay the Dodgers in the over tonight. I think they can get enough runs and beat up Musgrove. Now, I know obviously the preseason is definitely different than now, but 8.5 seems like a very attainable number. Got the 7 yesterday. You know what? I'm going to take the Dodgers and the over parlay. It was plus 168 yesterday. I wonder what this one pays, but it's probably pretty nice if you hit both.
I kind of like that.
Thank you.
One thing I'll say about and Kurtz, I understand your apprehension. Captain Chalk needs to, you want to wait until there's a higher number here, but
I do.
Yamamoto tonight, his strikeout prop is 4.5. And I think this is as low as you're going to get for him. And the deal with this is nobody on San Diego have ever seen him before. So this is the time now. And you know, George, if this game was like in San Diego or LA, I'd feel a little differently maybe about it. I think that it's perfect for this dude to make his first Major League Baseball start in Asia. Right? It's not Japan, but it's close enough, right? He's comfortable. Like I said, he's been talking about, he's pitched there before. He likes Korea, he was saying. Same time zone for him. He's almost at home. I think it's a perfect start. San Diego are going to struggle with this guy's wild, wiffle ball pitches. It's the first time they see it.
SportsGrid's going to have you covered for this NCAA tournament.
That's the movie that we know. When it's win or go home, they love to go home.
Tennessee's now in my phony club. They should all get together and drink green tea.
Furman's going to have a chance. That is a team I'm betting on right now.
We are feeling this. You are feeling this at home. The excitement and the atmosphere.
Only on SportsGrid.
The NC State game on Saturday against North Carolina that stood out most to me, that they not only went on a 5-day heater like they did in '83 when Valvano took them another 6 games and they won the national championship.
The committee didn't sit there at the beginning of the week and think that Oregon, New Mexico, NC State, Duquesne, they didn't sit there planning for all those teams to go and win.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Morehead State and Indiana State are two great mid-majors that look very dangerous. And Bama sent those teams into outer space.
You're looking at a guy that resurrects programs. Iona was down in the dumps till Patino got there. Now you know who Iona is because they were making runs into the NCAA tournament. And now you take a look at St. John's down in the dumps here, resurrecting another New York City team here.
Only on SportsGrid. SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. Pro League Soccer, powered by Marca.
I would be willing to bet the under 2.5 goals.
Fantasy sports today.
Especially in head-to-head formats and fantasy, I think I'm going to go with Juan Soto.
Game time decisions.
People don't like it. I don't really care. I cannot believe anybody is betting the Clippers at this number.
Betting above the rim.
All I've heard you say on the network is you're either winning or you're rebuilding.
In-game live, all access.
Nobody has been more profitable as a dog than Shaka Smarty.
Winning back-to-back road games. I don't care if they're playing Topeka High. I wouldn't give them any chance whatsoever.
In-game live, prime time.
Back-to-back, just utterly stinker quarters.
In-game live, overtime.
Honestly, as you sit here and listen, watch right now, you may want to consider placing that bet.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. We're kicking it. Cam Stewart, George Kurtz in the house. with us. So we were talking. Let's talk about these props after. Let's get an update here with the basketball. It is 54-49 with 26 seconds remaining. It's just been forever. There's been timeout after timeout. 24 seconds remaining. 54-49 for the Colorado Buffaloes. Looks like the both Colorado teams are going to advance. Colorado State advanced last night, and now Colorado is on the verge of advancing. And poor Boise State, they came into tonight 0-9 in NCAA tournament games. This school has never won a single NCAA tournament game before, and it appears as if though they're about to be 0-10. Colorado's up 54-49 in the game's final seconds. So as far as the props for tonight's game is concerned, I was talking about Yamamoto, and Yamamoto, we had an up and down spring. I don't take too much from that, to be honest, in which in the same game he'd make like hitters look really stupid, and they were like, what the hell was that? And also he got hit hard a couple of times as well. He never really got lit up, though. He gave up like 3 runs type thing a couple of times. But, he was working on stuff. Not a big deal. I am fascinated to see him tonight. I do think that him pitching in Asia makes a difference for him a little bit. He'll be pitching next Friday for the Dodgers, though, against the Cardinals at Chavez Ravine. Glasnow will be the starter for the Dodgers on Thursday for their home opener. But tonight, his strikeout prop is 4.5. Even if he only goes 5 innings, man, that's enough, right? Like, I think he'll be able to – he's going to confuse people. They haven't seen him, and he's not a routine type of pitcher. Like, he switches stuff up. It doesn't mean that they won't figure him out after a month or so like you see. But his fastball is 95 miles an hour. He's got a cutter. He takes stuff off. Like, he'll throw one pitch 95, Kurtz, and then he'll come back at you with like an 82-mile-an-hour pitch. He really mixes it up a lot, which throws hitters out of the rhythm. I think, like I said, once they see him a couple of times, they'll figure him out a bit. They're professional hitters. But I think San Diego struggle, at least especially the first few times through the order tonight.
I think that's fair. Like I said, I told you on the break, you sold me on the strikeout prop. I didn't look at it for a pregame. I don't look at a lot of strikeout props for starting pitchers in April. I know it's March, by the way, because a lot of managers are
they don't stay in the game long enough.
Exactly. And now that's everybody anyway. Everyone's 5 innings and fly throughout baseball, but especially in April, while they're still building up their
Glasnow went a full 5 last night, just for the record. He won all 5, but it was 77 pitches they got him out. But they had 80 as the benchmark. Anyway. So I imagine Yamamoto's on the same type of 80 pitch type of cap tonight.
Probably is. I think you're right. So you sold me. I'll take the 4.5. 4.5 is a much better number than 6.5 as well here. But your point about the Padres have never seen him, it might take a time or two through the order before they can figure things out here. I think that's fair. I think he'll reach the prop.
Musgrove strikeout prop is 5.5, but the under is minus 170. We talked about Ohtani last night hitting a home run. Listen, he hit the ball really hard last night. There was a couple of fielder's choices. He had a couple of singles. But he did hit the ball like one of them was like 113 miles an hour off the bat. Like, he smoked one ball. I don't know if it's going to be a distraction for him, this stuff. I kind of get the feeling that it wouldn't matter, that he's kind of whatever. He can play even if it's bothering what's going on off the field. So you're getting a better number tonight for him, actually, to hit a home run. Last night it went all the way down to plus 225. Last time I checked, it was plus 280. And it is currently plus 270 right now. So these are the home run props tonight. You like anyone else, Kurtz? I'm going to play the Ohtani prop. You said you got just a gut feel that Muncy goes deep tonight. I almost have to take it now because I'm going to get mad if it happens and I don't bet it.
Yeah, your boy Muncy. I'm going to be on Muncy to hit a home run.
All right.
Listen,
I'm taking Will Smith to hit a home run. Plus 600. All he does is try to hit a home run at plus 600. Come on. Plus 600. He got a hold of one last night. He hit it deep to left. I don't like that he only tries to hit home runs, but if I'm betting on a home run prop, I know he's only trying to hit a home run.
Well, if we're going to do this, by the way, should you do all of them? I mean, what I mean by that is we're going to do Ohtani plus 270. Muncy's plus 340.
Dangerous game.
Hayward plus 700. He lit one up last night. Hayward plus 700.
How many guys can you bet?
I'm not doing that. I'm not
away from the winnings, though. It's like golfers.
When I said,
but Gabe,
I mean,
it's like Babano. He's got 100 golfers. You can't pick 9 guys to pick a home run. You got to pick like 3 or 4 tops.
4,
right?
I'll take 4. Let's go with Morency. Oh, Betts is plus 340.
The problem is, if Ohtani's the only guy who hits a home run at plus 260, you're not making any money. That's the whole thing. You need to get a big ball.
No, but I'm with Kurtz though. Betts plus 450, Ohtani plus 270, and then one more.
Your
the little long shot.
Better than mine.
What my odds?
On Betts. I got plus 430 on Smith. Holy God!
Really? Huh? I swear to God, yeah, guys, my winners. I see right now. Plus 600. I got Will Smith plus 600. What do you got for James Outman? I got plus 550.
480.
Yeah, time to go.
Wow. Gavin Lux.
Time to go to the.
Gavin Lux, 600. Plus 600.
Wow.
That's higher.
Plus 850 for me. Plus 850.
You're losing a lot of bread, George. Time to change supermarkets.
No, but every book is different for props. Like Cam, you have good hockey, and sometimes it's just different in different provinces and states, George.
That's true. George deserves a little bit.
That's a huge difference. Now, usually, I talk to you guys. I roll for a little bit, no big deal. But that's monstrous. That's 33%.
Okay, what about the strikeout prop? Is your strikeout prop 4.5 though?
Yeah, now I gotta check this, don't I? Because now I'm getting ripped off and everything else here. Captain's first. Where are we here? I'm not happy anymore.
Nah.
I put Kurtz in a bad mood.
It's like what? Like you
plus 600. What?
Yeah, you're like getting something for like nice and cheap, and George is paying 30% more. Yeah.
What about San Diego players? Who's gonna hit home run on San Diego? Tatis is plus 310 for me.
I'm not gonna bet on San Diego. I'll let you know what the numbers are, but I'm not betting on anybody on San Diego to hit a home run. Tatis is plus 310.
There you go.
Same one. Wow.
Same. Interesting. Pro Dodgers.
So San Diego player. I mean, what's Machado?
Plus 350.
Oh, funny. San Diego players are the same, but the Dodger players are whack. How does that work?
I think the book knows me, and they're trying to bait me into betting Dodger stuff.
I am so. You've just nailed your point. They got a profile on you. They know who you are.
They're like, bait them in early in the season, give them some nice fat Dodger prices here.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Hey, no home runs today, right? No one hit a home run today?
That's very interesting.
No, that no one went deep last night. No one cleared the wall. That's why somebody's got to do it.
It is made for home runs. It's smaller than an average Major League Baseball ballpark.
Yeah, you know what, though?
Down the lines.
The Dodgers played the Korean national team 5-2 final score.
Interesting.
Same building. Dodgers have won the last 2 games in his building 5-2.
I'll take a 6-3. I want a 6-3 score. I want 5-2. That wouldn't be good.
I do agree with Cam. I said this on Carver today earlier. I said I hit the under last night in the game, but tonight I kind of get the feeling that the Dodgers didn't even really hit the ball that well. They scored 5 runs. So, I kind of get the feeling the Dodgers could win 6-3 or something like that. 7-3.
Carver was telling me you're together some like Scotty Scheffler Masters Dodgers stuff. You guys had a big brew to put to make the numbers bigger with all the stuff that you. That's smart.
He liked my play. I tweeted out. I did a screenshot of the pick. I took the Dodgers to win last night with UConn to win the championship. So suddenly I got UConn up to 8-1 instead of 4-1.
Yeah.
I doubled the money, and Carver said that he likes how I do that. I showed him tickets in New York. He goes, once you show me all these to build up futures. And I said, oh, you should do it with golf then. And he goes, I already am. Right. Yeah. So he's all gung ho. He likes Scheffler.
Yes,
he goes, I like Scheffler to win the Masters. So now I'm going to start putting in hockey bets with Scheffler and just sort of build it up.
He's like, he got me hooked on this stuff. So I got tier bets now with Scheffler and the Masters. I'm like, good work.
Listen. I got $1,000. I got $1,100 coming back to me if UConn wins for a $150 investment. Now I'm going to do it again. I got to get more UConn in bets before they go off the board in the morning. I got a 30% odds boost though on my my UConn bet, as well. So, yeah, for me tonight, listen, I don't want to blindly just say the Dodgers are going to win every game. It's baseball. And anyone who watched the game last night, San Diego could have won that game, all right? They were winning 2-1 most of the game. Dodgers got lucky. They hit a line drive, and the ball literally went through the first baseman's mitt. The webbing of his glove broke, and the ball went and then after that happened, the Dodgers got a bunch of hits. It's luck of the draw, right? But the Dodgers are they're going to win more than they lose, but they're not going to win every game. But with that being stated, I think Yamamoto deals tonight, and I think the Dodgers bats show up tonight. I also talked about how the Dodgers lines are going to be so crazy, man. They were minus 190 earlier in the day. It's minus 205 right now. And we're going to go back to the same well that we did last night. Mookie Betts over 1.5 total bases. Freddie Freeman didn't do anything last night. He didn't get any hits. He seemed lost. He was a little bit overwhelmed by Darvish. We'll see if he can get on track. I'll go to Freddie tonight over 1.5. We'll play Ohtani over 1.5. We'll play Ohtani to hit a home run. Max Muncy to hit a home run. You sold me on that, Kurtz. And I'm going to go with my boy Will Smith at plus 600.
I'll never hear the end of it now if Muncy goes over 4 with 3 strikeouts and a ground out.
Yeah, I'll tweet you. He's the one of the guys that upsets me. Dude, I was so mad when he struck out with the bases loaded, Kurtz.
I knew that's what you were mad about, too. I'm like, he's mad about one at bat, a 3-2 count. And I used to he's on a couple of my fantasy teams. I wasn't happy either. I didn't have any bets on him last night.
Will Smith got me twice, too, last night. 2 times. It was 4:30 in the morning, and my heart was I was like, freaking Will Smith. I was like, stop swinging.
First game of the year in Korea. You're already getting palpitations. This is great.
Oh, I was ready to panic. 4 innings in. I'm like, the middle of our order sucks. Our defense sucks. This is terrible. I was like, freaking Freeman. I started to remember Freeman and Betts in the playoffs last year, Kurtz, after. I was like, these guys are saying crap again. Betts is swinging. Betts was always down 0-2 in every at-bat. It's like, he swings at everything. So, yeah, I got a little panicked early. And then I realized, I was like, dude, you won't be able to watch these games this year if you're going to be like this. So just chill out.
Long
I kicked back.
Man.
I was like, all right, it'll be fine. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Let it play out. It'll be fine. So did Colorado officially win now?
And they covered, too.
Forever.
This has been a fantastic night so far. I don't want to jinx it. Colorado covered the spread, too. 58-51 covered.
So they win by 7. Game stays way under the number. All right, so I wanted to get we're going to have a fun little game with George Kurtz on the other side. You're going to fill out a bracket, Kurtz, whether you like it or not. NCAA.
I like this game. Yes, great game.
The only thing I know about the NCAA tournament is when I'm listening to this show. That's it.
Well, I'm not going to tell you what the seeds are, so you can't pick the chalk. I'm just going to name the teams.
Yeah, good call. I like this at it.
SportsGrid's going to have you covered for this NCAA tournament.
That's the movie that we know. When it's win or go home, they love to go home.
Tennessee's now in my phony club. They should all get together and drink green tea.
Furman's going to have a
That is a team I'm betting on right now.
We are feeling this. You are feeling this at home. The excitement and the atmosphere.
Only on SportsGrid.
The NC State game on Saturday against North Carolina that stood out most to me, that they not only went on a 5-day heater like they did in '83 when Valvano took them another 6 games and they won the national championship.
The committee didn't sit there at the beginning of the week and think that Oregon, New Mexico, NC State, Duquesne, they didn't sit there planning for all those teams to go and win.
Pharrell Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
State and Indiana State are two great mid-majors that look very dangerous. And Bama sent those teams into outer space.
You're looking at a guy that resurrects programs. Iona was down in the dumps till Pitino got there. Now you know who Iona is because they were making runs into the NCAA tournament. And now you take a look at St. John's down in the dumps here, resurrecting another New York City team here.
Only on SportsGrid. SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. Pro League Soccer, powered by Marca.
I would be willing to bet the under 2.5 goals.
Fantasy sports today.
Especially in head-to-head formats in fantasy, I think I'm going to go with Juan Soto.
Game time decisions.
People don't like it. I don't really care. I cannot believe anybody is betting the Clippers at this number.
Betting above the
All
rim.
I've heard you say on the network is you're either winning or you're rebuilding.
In-game live all access.
Nobody has been more profitable as a dog than Shaka Smart team.
Winning back-to-back road games. I don't care if they're playing Topeka High. I wouldn't give them any chance whatsoever.
In-game live, prime time.
Back-to-back, just utterly stinker quarters.
In-game live, overtime.
Honestly, as you sit here and listen, watch right now, you may want to consider placing that bet.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
So March Madness has begun. Keep it locked here right on the grid for expert analysis and opinions, such as George Kurtz. George, Michigan State and Mississippi State. We're going to blast through the games tomorrow and get George Kurtz's gut feel here. And then we'll get his national champion. Michigan State, Mississippi State. Who you got, George? Michigan State are 1-point favorites. This game's a near pick 'em. All right, can we get George's audio back up?
Mm-hmm. Mississippi State. I heard you mention him last night.
Mississippi State, says George Kurtz. Who are you taking in that game, Cam?
I'm taking Michigan State. Are we supposed to tally George's bets or have like a documentation to see how he did in this thing? Because I think it's important because he's blind betting. Can we write this down?
Duquesne, we'll remember. It's on tape. Duquesne and BYU. BYU are 10-point favorites. Duquesne or BYU?
Okay, I'll go with Chalk. Give me BYU.
Okay.
All right, hold on. You know what we'll do here? I'm going to go. I'll just go to the future. I'm going to go to the futures here. Go to the futures, and we'll get George to pick a winner for us. So who's going to win the tournament outright? And we'll let you know the odds too. So UConn are plus 400, Houston are plus 600, Purdue are plus 650, Arizona are 12-1, North Carolina are 14-1. Auburn are 18-1. Tennessee are 18-1. Creighton are 22-1. Iowa State are 22-1. I should let you know, George, UConn won last year, and no team has repeated since 2005 and 2006. It's almost a lock they're going to win. I just realized this. Like the NFL, no one repeated since 2003, 2004. The Chiefs just did it.
Yep.
Who's going to win, Kurtz?
Didn't you say that UConn has a tough road in their bracket that's going to be very hard? I think I heard that somewhere on one of these shows. So I'll say UConn no. Give me Houston. I'll take Houston.
All right. George is riding with Mattress Mac. Houston Cougars. Let's go. He bet $1 million on them, Kurtz.
He's a good guy to ride with. He wins a lot.
Right, he's a good guy to ride. He wins some cash.
He loses more than he wins, but he is rich, so he can afford it.
Yeah, he wins big.